Okay, time to talk about Palantir again. Alex Karp selling shares. Huge deal that Palantir announced the other day. And not only that, Cathie Woods is at it again, selling more shares. If she is selling more shares of Palantir, that means you should be buying shares. Whatever she does, do the opposite. She's not really the greatest investor. In fact, she's not really good at all. A lot of the things that she does makes no sense in my opinion. So when she is selling, we should be buying. If she starts buying a stock, I think we could all agree we're going to start selling, right? Right? Cathie Woods buys Palantir in the near future. It might be a signal to just get out, right? Like just bye-bye. Not that that's going to happen because she seems to somehow manage to always sell good stocks and buy crappy ones. Like what gives? It just makes no sense. She always finds her way around to a stock that sucks and ends up buying a ton of it. And then when it starts to get good or go well, she's selling out for a loss. Almost what I teach my students not to do. And speaking of students, before we get into today's video, free webinar this Monday, September 23rd. Absolutely free masterclass webinar. You do not want to miss it. This is a very limited event. So when the spots are full, you won't be able to get in. I had a lot of people that missed the last two webinars. This is your chance. Free webinar this Monday, September 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have a Q&A section. You're going to learn more in this 1 hour with me than you will anywhere else. I have a huge announcement, so I will see you there. Link is in the information box below. So why would Cathie Wood sell more shares at Palantir? Well, of course, she's not the brightest tool in the shed, so to speak. Not that I'm trying to be mean, but she seems to sell the stocks that are good and buy the stocks that suck. On Monday, just a few days ago, Cathie Wood made significant trades with Robinhood Markets and Palantir being the most prominent. The Robinhood trade, she sold 18,961 shares. This move follows Robinhood's recent agreement to a $3.9 million settlement with California's Department of Justice over its past ban on Bitcoin cryptocurrency withdrawals. Despite this, Robinhood has been transitioning from a meme stock trading platform to a more mature and competitive player against traditional brokerages. Based on Robinhood's closing price of $22.21 on the same day, the value of the trade is approximately $421,123. On the Palantir side of the trade, Cathie Wood sold 4,407 shares of Palantir. The firm had been offloading Palantir shares the last week as well. This sale followed after Palantir's stock soared 14.08% following the announcement of the S&P 500. Based on Palantir's closing price of $36.31 the same day, the value of the trade is approximately $160,000. Now, this is not huge. It's not a huge amount of shares for some big investor like Cathie Wood or ARK, to say the least, but it's more shares being offloaded. Maybe it's to cover taxes, maybe it's to cover expenses. We don't really know for sure. And the fact that Cathie Wood is unloading Robinhood and Palantir really pretty much signals a buy for me, because everything she sells turns to gold and everything she buys turns to shit. I mean, all kidding aside, that's the way it seems. So if she's selling, it's time to buy. Thumbs up. Let's buy more Palantir. And I've been saying this anyway. We're going to go ahead and talk about Alex Karp. He actually sold shares himself. Alex Karp sold shares worth $325,584,000. According to a recent SEC filing. Alex Karp, the director and chief executive officer, on September 13th sold 9 million shares of Palantir for $325,584,090 following the Form 4 filing with the SEC. Karp has control of over a total of 6,432,258 shares, with 6,432,258 shares being held directly. That means he sold over half of his holdings. That is not really a strong sentiment for me. That's quite scary when someone sells half of their shares. And if Alex Karp held 15 million in shares and he sold 9 million, that's over half. That's like 60 something percent, I believe. Like 65% of his shares or more he sold. Touchy situation when someone sells this many shares. And to me, it almost signifies that he feels that he's hit a ceiling on his stock right now, and if it goes back down, he's made more than enough money to not ever have to worry about it, because now, if this is implicating anything negative to me, I don't think so, but that's a lot of shares, and it has you thinking, you know, has me wondering. 65% of your holdings you're going to sell off as the CEO. That's a pretty bold move, and I think he probably feels there's going to be a pullback after the inclusion, or maybe he feels like it's going to fly, but if he felt like it was going to fly, he wouldn't have sold that many shares. It just doesn't make sense to me. me. So on to some really good news for Palantir. They have just expanded their brand yet again with another collaboration. I'm going to tell you guys, this is a big one. They're now stepping into the commercial and medical side of things, which is really strong. Palantir Technologies and Nebraska Medicine signed a multi-year contract to enhance healthcare through Palantir's artificial intelligence platform, Palantir said on Tuesday. The partnership, which started in January, has already led to an improved patient throughput, expanding claims, reimbursements, and enhanced monitoring patient care, Palantir said. Palantir's AI will continue to support Nebraska Medicine in areas such as patient flow, nurse allocation, and supply chain management, with plans to further collaborate on clinical research and patient care improvements. Palantir will utilize its artificial intelligence platform, AIP, to enhance healthcare through transformative technologies. Palantir and Nebraska Medicine began their collaboration in January 2024 with a shared mission to quickly address critical healthcare challenges. Palantir plans to continue its partnership, aiding Nebraska Medicine by providing AI software for patient flow, nurse allocation, clinical supplies, and revenue cycle optimization. The partnership will also expand Nebraska's Foundry ontology to explore new opportunities in clinical research and care to improve patient outcomes. Drew Goldstein, the co-head of healthcare at Palantir, stated, "Their swift commitment to this enterprise partnership highlights our shared focus on rapidly delivering value and driving impactful outcomes to enhance patient care." Michael Ash, Nebraska Medicine President and Chief Operating Officer, said, "The technology allows our staff to work smarter and for more of our patients to leave the hospital as soon as they're able to. Most exciting for us, this is just the beginning of the innovations we'll discover together and lead the way for other hospitals." Last month, Palantir disclosed that it was named a leader in artificial intelligence and machine learning platforms. Also, Palantir recently announced a strategic partnership with Sompo to enhance AI-driven solutions. I know a lot of this stuff can be confusing on how the market works, but news really affects stock prices, stock movement, sentiment, and with the Feds cutting rates and all this stuff happening all in the same week or two, things can get a little volatile. So if you guys are having trouble in the market, or maybe you're just starting out and you don't even know where to begin, I offer full Discord training course and one-on-one coaching. I would love to help you guys out. I was in your shoes at one point. So were all of my students. I want you guys to grow and have the financial freedom you ultimately deserve for yourself, and you take your financial health very seriously. I would love to help you grow. You guys can sign up at any time at investwithcorey.com, right there on the screen, or the link is in the information box below. My students are all up 10 to 15% in their first and their second month. I have students that have taken their portfolios from 10K to 20K in their first 2 months, and other students that have went from 30K to 80K in only 2.5 months. Like I said, you guys can sign up at investwithcorey.com. The link is in the information box below. Palantir Technologies is currently up 9 days straight, on pace for record-winning streak. Palantir is currently trading over $36. It's trading at the highest prices since February 9th of 2021 when it closed at $38.17. It's currently up 10 of the past 11 days, currently up 9 consecutive days, over 21.75% this period. Longest winning streak on record based on available data back to September 30th, 2020. Best 9-day stretch since the 9 days ending August 20th, 2024, when it rose 22.8%, up 16.65% month to date, up 113.86% year to date, but it's down 5.85% from its all-time closing high of $39 on January 27th of 2021, up 149.12% from 52 weeks ago on September 20th of 2023, when it closed at $14.74. Would be a new 52-week closing high. We're also up 163% from its 52-week closing low of $13.96 on September 26th of 2023, trading as high as $36.72 and up 0.74% at the intraday high. Palantir is absolutely killing it right now. This is pretty much the best growth stock you can put your money into. And because of the mere fact that Cathie Wood has sold more shares, just makes me feel like I want to go on a buying spree with Palantir. But then you have Alex Karp unloading 65% of his share count at over 9 million shares, totaling over $325 million, which has me a little bit worried. But with the S&P inclusion, all these new AI deals with medical, commercial, government contract, Project Maven, all of this growth, it's just a matter of time before it moves even higher. The only question is Palantir outpacing themselves? Palantir is a very bullish stock, and there's a lot of premium baked in for future guidance. So I think as long long as the inclusion goes smoothly into the S&P 500 this month, it's really going to come down to their earnings. Not much is going to be bearish on Palantir. It's going to keep consolidating and moving its way up slowly, maybe some slight pullbacks, but I don't see anything drastically changing until earnings. If they don't beat earnings, and they don't have a solid earnings, and anything goes wrong there at all, this stock's going to pull back for sure. So really, it's all on earnings. Because of all the good news, the consistent earnings, the inclusion in the S&P, as well as all of the new contracts with the government, commercial, and medical, and everything that's going on surrounding Palantir, it's going to take bad news to really hamper this growth, which means it all comes down to earnings. All the marbles are on earnings. So really, if you're an investor in Palantir, that's where you should be setting your sights on November 5th, which is the next earnings report. And that's what it comes down to. Right now, Palantir is good. We're probably going to see a little bit of a pullback, but I see the pullback maybe going to 35 at the most. It might pull back to 34. That's possible. I highly doubt anything below 34. 34, 35 is pretty much the floor, and we might not even see that. The 100-day moving average is around 35.50. Palantir ultimately is a long-term investment. So even though Alex Karp sold 9 million shares in the short term, 3 to 6 months, that's worrisome. But in the 1 year to 2 year to 3 year, I don't really think that bothers me one bit because it's the greatest growth stock, in my opinion, of all time. They've actually grown faster this year and more consistently than NVIDIA, who was pretty much holding the record for these growths. And now it's Palantir growing faster than NVIDIA. So at the end of the day, this is still the best stock you can put your money into as long as you're willing to accept the fact that it's a long-term investment. Guys, don't forget, free masterclass webinar this Monday, September 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Limited spots are available, so if you don't sign up now and you miss your chance, we'll be closing registrations once the limited capacity is reached, so you'll miss out. Sign up now. Q&A is going to happen. I'll be answering your questions. You're going to learn more in the hour you're with me than you will anywhere else. I also have a huge announcement during the webinar, so I will see you guys there. The link for the webinar is in the information box below, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care of yourselves.